got lots to talk about today, guys, so get in here. This is Jack with Cosmic Road. I talk about UFOs and the paranormal. Please hit like and subscribe, and let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Yeah, this is a great compilation of UFO videos, and a little bit of Trump, apparently, by Wixie, showing some really great stuff. Look at all these fantastic sightings, weird lights in the sky. What are these things, guys? Can some of these be explained by mundane means? Maybe some of them can, but I don't think all of them can. I don't think those are planes. What are those things, guys? What are they up to? What are they up to, guys? Yeah, here's a bunch of different categories of UFOs. And whatever that is, that could be a plane. But yeah, just great stuff. Yeah, I love that one. Is that the Jesus orb where she says the word Jesus and it starts to, oscillate or whatever, even brighter? That was a good one. Yeah, I don't know about that one. Maybe. Yeah, anyway, good stuff. I'll link to this and you can watch it at your leisure. Meanwhile, did you know that China has military drones disguised as birds? Well, China has military drones disguised as birds, guys. I don't know. I don't know if I've shared this with you before or not. I may have. But yeah, it's worth repeating. Don't trust the birds, guys. We've all heard the owls are not what they seem. Now it's all of them. All birds everywhere, guys. I don't know. I'm worried. Meanwhile, about the skiff that happened yesterday with members of Congress where they were being briefed about UFO matters, hopefully to bring forward, compelling witnesses at the next UFO hearing next month. Well, it turned out that the briefer for that skiff meeting, because we don't have Lou Elizondo, we don't have David Grush. Well, it's the confirmed briefer was Eric Davis, who was telling Eric Burleson at the roundtable a week or two ago about reptilians and Greys and Nordics and so on. I love Eric Davis. I love that he's out there talking about this stuff. And he's such a compelling figure, such a credible figure. Lou Elizondo has said that if we understood the work that Eric has done behind the scenes, we would realize what a hero Eric Davis is. So yeah, and the Congress people at that hearing, Anna Paulina Luna, Andy Ogles, and Eric Burleson are the ones that I know of at the moment. But if I have any more information that I see before I release this video, I will definitely let you know. But we have more to talk about. Let's see. We've got Senator Gillibrand wanting the Transportation Secretary Duffy to receive a classified briefing on the Langley mystery drones.
So just so you understand the legislation, what Senator Cotton and I are trying to do is give authority to the Department of Defense for the four corners of any military site to be able to take them down immediately so that we can actually assess who they are, why are they hovering, because the incursions over Langley, you should brief yourself, you should get a classified briefing, highly concerning. Second, we then want to be able to track and trace that drone when they leave the base so that we know who's launching them, from what field, who owns the field, from what ship, who owns the ship. That's where we need your coordination. But it has to be instantaneously, like within the 30-minute window, or we will lose that opportunity to arguably take down or get information about an adversary.
Okay, she's still talking about it being an adversarial technology, but at least she's on it. At least she's trying to track it and do something about it. I've been trying to figure Kirsten Gillibrand out for a while now. She's had a, really gung-ho attitude about UFO transparency at first, and then she kind of softened, apparently, and was very chummy with Arrow, unfortunately. And then there was that weird op-ed by Chris Mellon where it threw out the hypothetical situation that Kirsten Gillibrand's, children could be used against her by the UFO cover-up, by the UFO control group. So yeah, it's weird that Chris would have put that out there. I don't think Chris just throws random hypotheticals about specific Congress people out there into the world like that. So yeah, what's Kirsten Gillibrand all about? Is she gotten to by the powers that be within the UFO control group? Well, it seems like she is still on this stuff and she is still pushing things forward, trying to get answers and track the mystery drones. So I think that at least is encouraging. What's less encouraging is that Richard Dodie is saying that Lou Elizondo is a disinformation agent. In that Richard Dodie had the opportunity to help him spread disinformation. At least that is the story. However, there is a twist to this story.
I was offered a job in 2019 by the United States Space Force where Lou Alzando worked to work with him in disinformation. And I said, not no, but hell no. I'll never do that again.
Did Lou bend the knee?
Worked for him. I don't know what he did. You'd have to ask Lou.
Okay, so Richard Dodie refused to help spread disinformation with Lou Elizondo, according to that clip. However, Richard Dodie, according to Red Panda Koala, is now claiming he was referring to a Gaia video. The video I referred to was the Gaia interview where I spoke about Elizondo. My voice was clearly dubbed since I have access to the original recording I made at Gaia. That video was sent to me is now taken down, but it was viewed by 2,000 people according to X. I reported this to Gaia in X. The list of people sent to me by a source who told me the people on that list was probably responsible blocked everyone on that list. When the real culprits are found, I'll unblock those not responsible. Interesting. However, there is an addendum to that from Wiverness. Richard Dodie is claiming that the voice clip of him during an interview on Spaces is AI generated. It is not. It is his voice to replicate, and there you go. So I will link to this, and you can review it at your leisure. But there you go, Richard Dodie potentially calling Lou Elizondo a disinformation agent, and then saying, actually, no, that wasn't him, that was AI generated, and but it apparently was not. But I'm a little confused by this story because he mentions Gaia, but he was actually on Spaces. So I would like to figure all of that out. If you can fill in some of the missing dots, please enter your information below because I'm very curious about that story. Now, getting back to the question about Lou Elizondo and whether he could be spreading disinformation, one reason I don't think that he could be doing that is because he doesn't actually spread a lot of information. Most of the stuff that he says is about ATIP and, some behind the scenes stuff and the government and his whole process of bringing this forward. But his main contributions have been getting out those 3 videos. Now, some like Arrow have done their level best to try to debunk those videos. But I think we all know that the gimbal, the Go Fast, and the Tic Tac are legit anomalous objects. So what else does he say other than the ins and outs of ATIP and, tracing its origins back as far as it will go and, its evolutions in the government? Well, he says stuff like this.
Pathetically, if they have recovered craft, someone's hiding it somewhere, aren't they?
Well, that we know.
And can I ask you, do you know those locations?
I cannot elaborate on what the government might or might not have in its possession and where it might be located.
Yeah, so he doesn't say very much. He might know some stuff, but he doesn't talk about it. So I don't know what he could be spreading disinformation about. Meanwhile, Jeremy Corbel is saying that he has seen the UFO in the clouds video that Matthew Brown talked about.
Former U.S. National Security official Matthew Brown describes but does not provide several videos that he says were gathered by the program called Immaculate Constellation. Brown claims that one video in particular stood out to him. He says he saw video of a UFO that looked like a large disc flying over what appears to be an ocean. He says it looked playful, that it was flying between the clouds and appeared startled at one point as if it knew it had been caught on video.
What do you mean it looks startled? What does that mean?
It's just looking at an area over the ocean is what it appears. And this thing just comes trundling along from, like underneath the cloud cover, comes up. And then right when it's like almost center frame, it scoots off to the side and like tries to get out of
Like it comes into us early and going, oops, somebody spotted me. I can get out of here.
exactly it was visibly, that's the feeling it had.
The footage that he described showing a disc that appeared playful with the clouds and then startled to be caught on camera. Have you seen that?
Yeah, I have seen that.
And is it as he describes?
It is. I've seen it a long time ago, way before I ever met Matthew. And that is a piece of footage that within the intelligence community, if they have access to the servers, is kind of famous at this point. Now, does that get out to the public? Remember, this is something where, as journalists, we can't solicit. But over the years, as I said, George Knapp and I have been exposed to a whole lot of footage, most of which we've never deemed able to put out for security reasons.
Okay, well, I would love to see that footage of the startled UFO. But there you go, Jeremy Corbel confirming Matthew Brown's information. Meanwhile, is this more proof of Atlantis or some sort of advanced peoples thousands of years ago? Well, okay, check this out. This is from Jason Wild, the Copper Mystery, the Michigan Copper Mystery. Here's something that I've been researching, he says, and it's pretty odd. The Michigan Copper Mystery. Most people have no idea that between 5000 and 1200 BC, ancient miners extracted hundreds of thousands of tons of pure copper from Lake Superior region. We're talking Isle Royale, the Keweenaw Peninsula, and the surrounding area. Over 5,000 pit mines have been identified. They use stone tools, not bronze or iron, to chisel away at these veins of native copper, which is incredibly rare in such pure form. The weirdest part, nobody knows where all that copper went. Archaeologists estimate that over 500,000 tons of copper were pulled from those mines during that period. That's not a simple operation. That's industrial scale. And yet there's almost no trace of it in North America. Native American tribes did use copper, sure, for small tools, ornaments, trade items, but not in quantities that would account for even a fraction of that volume. So the obvious question to me is, who was really mining all that copper and where did it end up? And I've verified that this is a legitimate mystery, and it is. The Michigan Copper Mystery is a real thing, and we don't know where all that copper went. One of the most controversial theories suggests that ancient seafarers, maybe the Minoans, the Phoenicians, or even an unknown pre-Iron Age group, were coming across the Atlantic to mine it. These people would have needed massive amounts of copper to fuel the Bronze Age explosion in Europe. And strangely enough, the timeline lines up almost too perfectly. The sudden end of mining in Michigan happens right around the time the Bronze Age collapses in the Old World. Some even claim trace element analysis has linked European bronze artifacts to Michigan copper, though predictably, mainstream academia pushes back hard on that. So yeah, that's just fascinating, guys, that there is this massive industrial scale level of copper that was mined in the Americas back in the day, thousands of years ago, over a long period, and we don't know where that copper went. Is this more evidence of Atlantis or some ancient civilization that had a global impact and global reach, and apparently a need for copper? Or is this something altogether different? Did the Native Americans actually mine massive amounts of copper over thousands of years? If so, what did they do with it? Where did it go? So yeah, a fascinating wrinkle in history that I had never heard about, and I think more proof for Atlantis. But let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Okay, I began this video with Chinese technology, so I'm going to end it with Chinese technology. Check out these drones, guys. Forget about the mystery drones. Look at this amazing drone show with like thousands or millions of drones forming this massive mothership over China. That is just gorgeous. Man, that is impressive. That is seriously impressive, guys. So yeah, let me know what you think about this giant mothership and everything else covered today in the comments below. Like and subscribe. Hit the bell to be notified of future videos. You don't want to miss a thing. Join me on social media, Facebook and Twitter, links below. Love to see you guys there. If you want to support Cosmic Road in a bigger way, grab a t-shirt, grab a coffee mug in the merch store below, or become a channel member. Channel members are rock stars, and I really appreciate you guys' support. Thank you. Meanwhile, there's plenty of other videos on the channel, and I'll see you next time. This is Jack with Cosmic Road, signing out.